Arrays will be a key data type for you in most all applications that you'll develop. They serve to group and organize our data no matter the data type. So for instance, one of the groups that we could have for an array would be colors. So colors could be grouped together. So we might have an array defined as colors. And in there we would have values such as maybe red, green, and blue. Another type of array, or another way we could put an array together that makes sense, would be fruit. So we'd have fruit, and then inside of there we would put in maybe oranges, peaches, and strawberries. The way that arrays become really powerful is the fact that you can set and recall individual spaces or individual points in the array by using what is called a key value pair. Let's go over to workspaces and take another look into arrays in code.
Arrays are very, very powerful. We are going to use arrays a lot in PHP. But let's start at the very base of an array. We've talked about what an array is. Now, how do we do this inside of code? Well, let's create a new array. There are a couple of ways that we can create an array, so we'll do that now. Let's go down to our little area here in the bottom, and we're going to remove this little bit of code and create some new lines here. Okay, so in order to define an array, we do it just like we do a variable. So we'll do a $ and then a name. We'll do array example. Now, we can define arrays in a couple of different ways. I'm going to define this array as an empty array. We can do that by using the keyword array, then open parentheses, then close parentheses, and then a semicolon. So I'm going to go right here now and do a print R, just like we've done before, and then array example. All right, close that. Save it, and let's look at our preview. So you can see here it's showing us an array, and it's empty. There's nothing in it. Okay, switch back over to our code, and we'll do the same thing, but we're going to do it a different way. So I'm going to comment this line out, and then I'm going to say array example, and I'm going to use shorthand notation for an array, so which is just 2 brackets. Semicolon here, save, switch back over, and refresh. Same thing, empty array. So this is just a shorthand method, but for most of the time, you're going to see me use the method above. So we're going to delete this and then uncomment out our line. Okay, now when we want to populate an array, we're going to do a name or a string or integers. It can be any type of data. And we're going to put it into a comma-separated list inside of our array keyword. We'll do that by giving a real-world example here. Let's say eye colors. We'll set that equal to an array, okay, and then we'll close it with a semicolon. Now in here, we're going to create some strings. Now I'm going to use single quotes, or you can use double quotes. So let's just do single quotes, and then let's give a couple of colors for eyes. So blue. Then the next one, we do a comma, then another set of single quotes, and then another one. So green, and we'll do, say, one more, brown. Okay, let's save this. And I'm going to print, actually, eye colors. So I'm going to copy eye colors here, and I'm going to paste it in to our print R statement. Save it, go back over to our preview, and hit refresh. Okay, so what you're seeing here is an array with 3 different values, blue, green, and brown. Now, if you notice to the left of the array, or the left of each of these values in the array, is a equal sign and an arrow, or greater than symbol, and then another number, 0, 1, and 2. This is what's called the key, okay? So 1 is a key, and then the value is blue. So the key 0 has a value of blue, key 1, value of green, and key 2, value of brown. So the key value pair, as it's called, is how we modify and access individual areas of that array. So let's go ahead and say we wanted to modify one of these values or recall one of these values. How would we do that? So let's go back to our code, and let's say I just want to pull out just the blue color. So in order to access just one of these values, we're going to echo the actual array. Now, that into itself is not going to give us any useful information. We want one of those values. So we want, say, blue, green, or brown. If we wanted blue, we're going to need to say, I want the value that is at the index or the key of 0. Remember, it's a 0-based or 0-indexed array. So we'll go in here, we'll add a square bracket and a closed square bracket directly after iColor, and then put the integer 0. Let's save this and refresh and see what we get. Blue. If we change this to 2, we should get brown. There we go. All right, so now you know how to access a value in an array. To modify a value inside of an array, we do it the same way by using the key to the value pair. So let's go up here. Let's say we want to modify green and make it hazel. So we'll do iColors, and then we'll use the index of 1, which would give us green, and we'll set it equal to a string again. You can use doubles or singles, so we'll just use single quotes, close it with a semicolon, and then say hazel. I'm going to hit save. Then I'm going to go down here and change this to 1 so we could actually see our new value. So we'll go over and we'll hit refresh. So you can see in the first example, key 1 is actually the value of green. And then once we've modified it and then echoed it, now it's showing hazel. So that's how you modify and recall a standard array with a key value pair. Another thing that's very powerful about arrays is that you can have mixed data types inside of a single array. So let's say, for instance, in our array example here, we wanted to have a little bit of information about a person. So let's change this to me. So Hampton. So let's put a few of my favorite things here in an array, but of different data types. So let's start with my favorite number, which would be an integer. So we'll say 12. And then let's say I like the color gray. All right. And then maybe I want to put a floating point number for the distance to my house. So from work, it's 2.5. Okay, so you can see here that I have two different data types in an array. We could even add another one. Let's just say we want to put the Boolean true. Okay, so we can do that. Now, what if we print our Hampton? We'll save that. We'll actually go ahead and comment out these for now. All right, let's preview this. So here you can see it's actually showing us different values. Now we've noticed it's showing us 1 for our Boolean or true, but that's right, because it's a non-zero value, it's going to show us a 1, showing us a true. If we typecast that to Boolean when we printed it out, we could see true or false, just like we've done in the previous examples. But as you can see, with an array, you can have mixed data types inside of a single variable or a single array variable. Now you've seen how we can have multiple different data types inside of an array. Well, what if we wanted to add more values on the end of an array instead of just changing an existing value? Well, let's go ahead and comment this one out. We're not going to use it. We're going to use iColors as our example again. So we'll do a print R of iColors and take a look at what's there now. Save that, switch over and refresh. Okay, so here's our three values, blue, green, and brown, and you see our index is 0, 1, and 2. Okay, switch back over, and now I'm going to add a new value to our iColors array. So we'll say iColors, and then we'll use our square brackets just as we did in the example on line 60 where we changed something to hazel. But here we're just going to leave this blank. So by leaving it blank, it tells the array or it tells the interpreter that we want to add to the end of this array a new index and a new value. So we simply say iColors, empty square brackets, and then set it equal to a new iColor. So let's say we've got amber eyes. All right, hit semicolon, save it, and then we're going to reprint, but after our modification. So we're going to print our iColors using printr, save it and refresh, and let's see if we get a change. And we did. So here we have 3 different values, blue, green, and brown, and then we have the original 3 values, and we've tacked on a new value to the array, amber, which has automatically assigned an index of 3.